to answer it, that I want to answer it. And if I've got a secret or I've got some information or some knowledge, why should I tell them? Maybe I don't have that knowledge, maybe I can't tell them.
Are you always on your guard? Not now, not today, not at the weekend, but in life?
I think you've always got to be conscious of what you're saying publicly, because it's a reflection on the club, and everything that you do, it reflects the club. I mean, if you do something good, it's good for the club. If you do it bad, it reflects badly on the club. So at all times, you're an employee of a football club, and that's got to be uppermost in your mind. And that's, I'd rather be doing something properly for the club than do something badly.
But what about when you're away from the club? When you're with the family, for instance?
Well, that's private, isn't it, really? When you're away from the club, you're private, and if you can maintain a little bit of sanity in your life away from football, then the family's a nice place to have it. The golf course is a good place as well, or any other form of relaxation. Everybody needs relaxation, and we're certainly no different from anyone else.
How important is the family in the equation?
Well, I wouldn't have a league table, but they're very important.
Close your eyes and hope, really.
Great shot, Richard. Wonderful shot.
Kenny, have you got a ball?
You're all right, just stay there.
Any balls?
I've got a ball.
Oh, right.
Stay there.
Tell you. No idea. Do you know what? I had a bit of a feeling that might not be the way we were going.
The next one's a long shot for you.
You, Pillock.
I'll do me. So we'll play the hole, and you come that way.
That sort of sums up everything, doesn't it? Why are we doing an interview? Well, that's my best drive of the day, off the tee the wrong way, so it's my turn now. You just said that you wouldn't have a league table, but the family are an important part of life, obviously. Were they part of the reason you decided to leave Liverpool?
No, the reason I left Liverpool was well aired at the time. I just felt that in Liverpool Football Club's best interest, I couldn't do my job properly, and I left. Obviously, it was my interest as well, because I had a future to consider. Whether it was in or out of football at the time remained to be seen.
You didn't know at the time?
No, but I knew that I couldn't do the job properly, so I couldn't work for them under false pretences. They didn't need that from me after what they'd done for me. So to be fair to everyone, the best thing for me to do was to take a step back. And at that time, I never knew what was going to happen. But I didn't really care what happened. I just wanted away.
That's the way you felt?
Yeah.
You needed a way, or just wanted a way?
No, no. No, I didn't want to. I didn't want to do it. I said at the time it was the hardest decision I ever had to make. And it was probably the first time that I made a decision that was in more than Kenny Dalglish's interest in Liverpool football clubs.
Why then? Couldn't it have waited?
Well, it can't wait, can it? If you wait too long, you suffer the consequences. And I didn't think they deserved that, or I deserved that.
You weren't well?
No, well, couldn't. At the end of the day, I didn't feel I was up to doing the job properly for them, or at a level that they deserved.
And was that something that had been coming on and that you were aware of for a period of time, or did it, as you stood in the dugout watching that 4-4, occur to you that night?
No, I knew before that. But it was a combination of things, isn't it? I mean, that was since I was about 18 years of age. I had a break of about a year, maybe 18 months when I wasn't in the public eye through playing football. And for me, it was just, I suppose, a culmination of nearly over 20 years of work that I had to get away from. I needed a good break, and that's what I took.
Did it hurt?
It hurt me,
Knowing
yeah.
how much Liverpool means to you? Still does?
Well, obviously, the most important thing for me in football terms is the success at Blackburn Rovers. But Liverpool Football Club are magnificent to me, and it's all right people saying, well, maybe you did all right for them. But they gave me my chance. You took a right chance of taking me down there. They took me there, and I tried my best to do my best, and it turned out well for me. It turned out quite well for the club. But at the end of the day, they were uppermost in my mind. I was feeling my responsibilities and duties, so I couldn't do it.
Why didn't people believe the reasons that you gave us for going?
Well, that's
in your opinion?
I don't know. Maybe they thought there was something underhand. Maybe they thought there was something that wasn't right. But I thought the fact that I went to the press conference on the Friday morning to try and explain myself would have been sufficient. But, I mean, they're uneducated people anyway. They just write things and don't really know. I mean, you could tell them. It's the same at Blackburn with Alan Shearer's transfer. You tell everybody the price was 3.3 and they still put 4 million in, 3.6. Why did they do that? I don't know.
Once you'd left and the rehabilitation period started, were you aware of the need to have to get back involved in football?
No.
Did you want to be involved again?
No, when I took the rest, I suppose people would maybe say it was retirement. That's the best job I've ever had. Retirement, you got up, you please yourself in the morning, no problems. Can't get a day off, but that's not really a problem, is it? And I really enjoyed it. But there was no great desire for me to get back in. There was no great pressure on me. You were doing what you wanted to do yourself. There was some other people had asked if I wanted to go back in, and I never went back. But Jack Walker and the late Bill Fox came to me to ask if I'd go back to Blackburn. And once everything was clear in my mind that what they were saying was true regards the redevelopment of the ground and the availability of funds for players, then I thought, well, I'll take a wee bit of a chance and try my best here, and let's see how it goes.
But the fact that you weren't thinking about getting back involved in football, did that help? Was that part of the recovery process? That you hadn't got targets to aim for the first time in your life, perhaps?
Well, some people might say you could have taken a rest and gone back. But if you know you're going back, you're not really resting, are you? So the thing for me, it was a complete break for football. I went and watched games, but had no involvement in it, really.
Was that ever an option, to go back to Anfield?
Not as far as I know, I don't know. I was never asked.
I think you ever will.
Be asked? Oh, I don't know. That's not for me to say, is it? I mean, the most important thing for me is, at the moment, that we're going quite well with Blackburn, and we hope to keep it that way. But what other people want to do is up to themselves. And before you jump into the next question and say, well, would you? The thing is, you don't need to solve a question until such time as you're asked it. If you'd asked me 3 years ago, would have been at Blackburn Rovers. What could I say then?
Next question was, are you going to win the title? I wasn't going to ask that at all, but you see, you're always one jump ahead of the next question.
Oh, just in case.
OK, let's go and find my first ball.
Maybe I left it. Bounced. There's water in front. Aye.
We've talked about leaving Liverpool. What about joining? Was that a gamble at the time for you?
I think it was a much bigger gamble for Liverpool. I decided that I wanted to have a go in England, and if I had a choice, that would have been the club I would have picked. I was fortunate when we came back for pre-season training in '77 that they came in for me, and as soon as they came in, there was no problem for me. I mean, that was a club that I would have chosen to go to because I thought it would be a club that was best suited to myself.
Why?
Well, there was a documentary on the television just before I went there. I think it was just at the end of the previous season. And it impressed me as being a club that was running the similar lines to Celtic. That's what I was used to. That's what I was brought up in. And I thought it would be less of a change. The two cities were very similar, Liverpool and Glasgow. So if you'd had a choice, I think that would have been the one.
How long did the discussion over terms take then?
Not took very long at all. Not took very long at all. If you want to go somewhere, the money really is irrelevant. As long as it's reasonable, the happiness is more important.
And what about management? Did you always have a desire and an ambition to be a manager?
No, I never had any ambition. I'd never looked that far. I was playing away at Liverpool and only concentrating on playing. I was 34. I had a contract for another couple of years or something. I had a good bit of time left in my contract anyway. So I was only concentrating to get myself ready to play. Joe Fagan was manager and he was looking after me and giving me a few days off a week. Training the last couple of days and it was working. We were doing all right and it suited me. I looked after myself when I had the days off and trained when I had the days to train.
He did leave you out once or twice, didn't he? You didn't like that?
No. It maybe deserved to be left out. That was Joe's opinion and I've got to respect Joe's opinion and I do respect Joe an awful lot. I respected his opinion then. Doesn't mean to say that you necessarily agreed with it. But there was no ranting and raving and going to newspapers and saying how unhappy you were. The only way I could get back in was to roll my sleeves up and work harder. I didn't need to come to that. I think someone get injured and I get back in, so...
You're a lucky man.
Oh, I was lucky. But,
so how did the job come about then?
Well, I was just... I was sitting at home one night with Marine and the kids and the phone went and it was Peter Robinson, the secretary at Liverpool. And he said him and the chairman, Sir John Smith, would like to come and speak to me. I said, that's no problem. When do you want to come? He said, Sunday night. I said, yeah, it's all right. He said, well, do you want to know what we want to come and see you about? I said, well, it doesn't really matter. I said, if you want to tell me, it's up to you. He said, well, we'd like to offer you the job at Anfield next year. I said, well, that's all right. I said, you can still come if you want. So, as if they were with enough confidence in me to approach me and ask me, there's no way that I could turn down a compliment like that to be asked to become player manager.
But until then, you really hadn't had any ambition to be a manager?
I'd never had any coaching badge. I was just playing away. I was happy playing. That's the best part of your career, is playing. But they came along and they explained what would happen. Bob would be there for a couple of years as consultant. Which was magnificent because he was also somebody that I had the utmost respect for. Ronnie and Roy stayed to help. Old Tom Saunders was there. The players, I knew all the players knew me. So really, although you're moving from a dressing room into an office, a lot of things stayed the same.
You're very quick and quite right too to spread praise, if that's the right word, praise about. But you don't react too well yourself to being praised, do you?
I don't know. I don't think it's unfounded praise or appreciation that I give to people. If someone's good enough to try for me, and someone's good enough to help me, then I think I've got to show appreciation. And I think I'd be wrong not to do that. But if somebody wants to praise me, well, that's up to themselves.
You don't take any notice of it?
Oh, it gets embarrassing, really, if somebody's praising you, I think.
Well, your goal's hopeless.
Oh, it's okay. But you're two down. How did that happen?
I want that one.
Oh, I'm there.
I think there is a God.
How can you take it? How can it be that? Look at the club.
We won't tell Hopkins about that.
Did you get that?
It was a preferred lie, actually. It was too heavy, wasn't it?
Some justice then in the game. Do you like Alex Ferguson?
Do I like Fergie? I've got a lot of respect for Fergie. And I like Fergie as a person. I've known Fergie for a long time. Obviously, he wants his side to do well, and I want mine to do well. There's nothing wrong with being competitive and being rivals, but I don't think there's any, as far as I'm concerned, there's no animosity anyway. I admire what the guy's done in football, and I like him as a person. I've worked with him as well when I was with Scotland, and he was very good to work with and work for. But it's like everything else, people try to look for something that's not
Well,
there.
I was just about to say that. Why do we always read that the two of you don't get on?
Well, maybe because he's as headstrong as what I am, maybe. If he says something he believes to be right, and if he says something I don't think's right, then I don't think it's right for me to keep my mouth shut, if I think it's in our interest. But I certainly respect the guy for what he's done in football. I like him as a person, and I admired him when I worked with him.
You stoked up the game at Ewood Park this year, uncharacteristically, having a pop at one or two things, or
No, that wasn't
maybe
that
sending one or two shots back that had come your way after the match at Old Trafford.
No, if you want to quote me a couple of things that I said that weren't factual, then I stand corrected. But all I said before the game was I stated a few facts. And I believe them to be true.
But you enjoy the cut and thrust.
Oh, what, playing football? I've been involved in it.
Playing football and also this little tussle that you have with Alex Ferguson. And it's not just at Blackburn. There was a
Football and
celebrated
tussle.
incident at Anfield, wasn't there, when the two of you had a go? And
Yeah, but Fergie only said something that he believed to be right. I mean, what I said wasn't true at the time, and David was only 6 weeks old. But
so she couldn't hear anyway.
probably just as well. But what Alex said he believed to be right at that time, and I didn't think it was right. So I mean, I've got to say what I think. It's about opinions, isn't it? But that doesn't mean to say because on occasions you have difference of opinions that you lose respect for someone. I don't know. You'd like to think that Alec would feel the same way about yourself. Whether he does or not, I don't know. I mean, as I said before, the relationship between myself and Alec goes back a long way. From when I was a young kid at Celtic, right?
But as far as you're concerned, there's no problem. You like him.
Me?
Hmm.
I like him and admire him what he's done. And I respect him. But it's not to say I'm going to have the same opinion as he has every time he opens his mouth.
And if you hear something that he says you don't like, you reserve the right to respond.
Well, you do that for everyone, but don't you? You reserve the right to respond if you want to respond.
I've had to fight an unfamiliar course, the elements, a competitor,
You weren't going to leave that short, were
and
you?
a cheat.
No, that's libelous. Keep that running, by the way. We've got a few quid.
Will it be long before silverware goes to Ewood Park?
Who knows? We've gained a lot of respect from people this year, and that's all. We've won recognition. We've not won any silverware. But we'll continue in our pursuit for it. And if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, it won't be for lack of effort.
Our colleagues in the golf department always ask guests to nominate a shot of the day. What would yours be today?
Well, I think it'd have to be one of the two that you hit in the wrong direction. Or it could possibly be the one when I took about 6-inch divot. But
That's
when I took the 6-inch divot, I still won the hole. When you hit your two shots in the wrong direction, you lost the hole.
Kenny Dalglish, thanks for joining us. I've enjoyed it very much.
Thank you. Do you know what I had? An exploding golf ball. And I left it in the house.